Hey everybody, welcome to RBL Weekly. It is week 21 of the 2024 season. I am the commissioner of the Roast Battle League, Pat Barker, joined as always by the host and creator of the Roast Battle, Brian Moses. What's up, dude? How are you?
You know, I'm loving this this blue on you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I know the fans really love getting lost in your eyes, but gotta tell you guys at home, it's hard not to right now.
Yeah.
I want to go swimming. I kind of want to dive in a little bit. That's kind of nice.
I have to actually address something with my eyes because I've seen a couple comments over the last couple episodes where they're like, Pat is high as. Let me explain something to you. I'm the commissioner. That would be a wild breach of protocol. It would be an ethical disaster for me to show up to one of these inebriated. Never in a million years. I mean, I'm drunk when I judge half the time, but I'm still pretty good at it, so we let it slide. No, I've had this weird thing with my eyes where they get like randomly bloodshot. So I just realized my Lumify is still like on camera. I have been like just pouring eye drops in, and by the end of the episode, I will look high as fuck again. I promise I'm not. I just desperately need to go to an optometrist or something. So
yeah, my excuse is I have birth defects, and so my eyelids are by being born, they were just low and ridiculous.
It's just the shape of your face, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm also high, so
yes.
Yeah. There's also that too. So,
we have a good week coming up. We got some good battles. This is one of those weeks where 1 through 10 is good. So if you're a Patreon member and you're on one of the top 2 tiers, do yourself a favor this week when this episode drops. Go watch 8, 9, and 10 as well, because I feel like there was something good for everybody. The voting was very, very close. Everybody seemed pretty on board for the top 3, and then everything else was like was close after that. We got some title matches, we got some new faces, we got some veterans, we got a little bit of everything.
Who was the on the committee this week from the Patreon?
Nobody.
Oh,
I did not. I could have really used somebody this week. I sent a direct message to one of the Hall of Flame level members, and was did not get a response. And perhaps that's on me. I waited a little bit too long. Busy week. If you think about what we did this week, we had 2 shows at the Mothership on Sunday. We came here, we recorded the podcast on Monday. We had the Belly Room on Tuesday. We had Jam in the Van on Thursday. And tonight we're hosting the Zoom Patreon battles for the Patreon members. They're going to be battling each other. There's just a lot going on.
There is a lot going on. It feels like it's Roast Fest all the time. Roast Festival all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, happy 11th birthday. We're going into week 2 about that. But also, LA, what's going on with the crowds? We got our asses kicked last week.
Yeah.
We came in from, I felt like an Austin comic. I came from Austin feeling like, dude, we can't be touched. Yeah. Like that was the greatest thing we've ever done, coming from the All-Star game. And then going into Tuesday, the crowd was, let's just say, lethargic. And we didn't do any favors because we were kind of lethargic. And they held us accountable for it. And then we went into Jam in the Van on Thursday, and they were a small yet mighty crowd, and they also held us accountable. Now, I don't know if it's a combination of, yes, we're terrible sometimes when we come back from Austin, or you guys, why are we paying, the $5 to $10 to $15 just to come there and just shit on these kids' dreams? I say kids, they're probably 35 or 50-year-old guys who were saying the N-word or F-word, but whatever.
Listen, I think the truth is somewhere in the middle. I think we actually did well on Tuesday. Considering we were coming off of the Austin thing, I think you and I did. The battles, I did well as a judge. I did poorly as a booker. We've had some great shows recently, and this most recent LA show, we got to the venue and there was a dropout, and then next thing you know, it's like, 3 undercards with guys who have really only done this like once or twice, if at all. I was like, this could go poorly. And then by the time I got there to judge, we had done the stand-up, and you guys were all yelling at the crowd, telling them how bad they are, which probably doesn't help. We were browbeating those motherfuckers pretty hard.
Yeah.
And then the last battle was great, and it turns out maybe they weren't the problem the whole time.
Yeah, and we were playing EDM, Yeah. This is a long White History Month. I just don't know how you guys snuck in 5 Tuesdays during White History Month.
What is the, and we'll get to this in a minute. We'll get to the battles. What is the origin of White History Month? Because I just showed up in July, and you were like, it's White History Month, and I was like, awesome. Well, I'm excited. I just don't get it.
We've done so many months.
Sure.
We did Black History Month in February. It was a great 2 weeks. And then we did Gay Pride Month in June. That was fun. And and then we did Cinco de Mayo in May.
Sure.
Right?
Yep.
Jesus Christian Supremacy Month, I think, is like April. And so then we finally get into White History Month in July because that's 4th of July.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like one of the greatest moments in white history.
Yeah, and it just so happens we have 5 Tuesdays and a Jam in the Van and 2 shows at the Mothership during White History Month.
Yeah, so we play music at in the Belly Room during White History Month. So the first week was yacht rock. Mm-hmm. Second week was country.
Sure.
Third week was I think new metal and emo. Mm-hmm. And then last week was EDM.
Wow.
And we're going out strong next week with we're not gonna say.
Are you going rap rock or are you going straight up like Limp Bizkit?
No, that was new metal. That's new metal.
Oh, that's new metal.
So new metal and emo kind of combined that third week. And then last week we went with EDM.
If you go classical and then have the nerve to blame the crowd if the energy's down, I will fucking flip out.
Classical's not it's not completely white history. So Whoa!
I'm just saying. If you look at the faces on the Hall of Fame bust, it's a bunch of white guys.
You're right. It's Beethoven and Mozart.
Yeah.
But people keep saying Beethoven's black, so we'll see.
Wait, really?
I keep hearing that.
No shit. Good for him.
I love the internet.
Yeah,
everybody's black according to the internet.
It's a wild place.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jesus, it's Beethoven.
Jesus, I believe. I mean, well, let's not get into this. Yeah. Let's cover some battles. As always on the podcast, we do not watch the 7, 6, and 5 battles here in the studio. Although I wish we were today because there again are a lot of things worth discussing. We will be back to offer our reactions and commentary for the top 4. As always, if you're a member of the Patreon on the Hall of Flame level tier and you want to join the ranking committee for a week, keep an eye on your DMs. That's where I reach out to you and see if you'd like to help us rank the battles. Let's get into it this week, and we're going to start with an expansion city. Now, we're not going to watch the battle, but I want to talk about this city a little bit when it's done. We haven't seen a lot of this city this year, but there are reasons for optimism, I feel like, and we'll discuss that momentarily. I'm talking about Cleveland. It's the number 7 battle this week. It comes to us from Cleveland, their first appearance on the podcast in a while. It's a fun battle between Chris Scriva and Brandon Petrie, former champ, and I can't pronounce his name. My apologies, Brandon. Brandon Petrie, Chris Scriva. Here it is.
All right, I want everybody to give it up. I'm very excited to share the stage with a local celebrity. It's the boy Decoy from To Catch a Predator. Sorry, I stuttered. I was just too nervous.
Because he's the predator.
I do. I pray.
Was that the joke? Oh, it's my turn?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Go for it. Call me fat now.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for John Candy Addiction.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Chris is a heterosexual man. He claims that his favorite sexual position is missionary. That's the one where the woman lays on the bed and receives last rites from a priest before Chris tries to get on top.
That's how hard I fuck, ladies and gentlemen. All right? Everybody, Brandon, he had a rough childhood. He was kicked out of his house after a big fight with his stepdad. In his words, nobody fucks my mom but me.
She deserves the best dick in the house, okay? Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for the face of Magic the Gathering. Chris Scriva has a background in dancing, believe it or not. He's done jazz, tap, and ballet, but clearly his weakness is salsa.
Hell yeah, dude. It is. Brandon Petrie does claim to be straight on his bio, and he claims to have scoliosis. How could he be straight if his back is gay?
There's no claims there. I'm willing to demonstrate. One more time for Ralphie May, lose a foot. Chris has the smile of a man that just led his fellow incels to a giant win at the tournament of the BattleBots.
I would actually love to do BattleBots. That's actually been a dream of mine. Brandon looks like one of the Magic School Bus kids, but only was excited when they shrunk down to explore balls. Because he's gay like his back.
It's my back, bussy. That's what it is.
Yeah.
One more time for Honey, I Blew Up My Cholesterol. Chris has a brother who manages a large orchestra, and he receives most of his work performing the soundtrack to Chris surfacing from any large body of water.
It's me, Godzilla, but fat guy. Sorry. I tried to take a joke. No, is it 5?
The hell, learn to count, Kyle. Goddamn.
Come on, I just want to call him gay more.
I want to call him fat more. We have things to do.
We have things to do here. Mind your own fucking business at your show.
How fucking irresponsible.
Go back to your hole.
Fucking Hobbit Kyle comes
Yeah,
out.
what the fuck, Kyle? It's like my gravitational pull is pulling him back on stage. This is like what happens when 2 stars get too close together. And then there's just like gay Pluto over here.
I've been
circling around looking for Saturn
so
cock.
hard. I can't stand up here. I keep getting sucked in by gravity.
Yeah, I bet you want to suck me in, dude.
I do.
Yeah, come suck me in.
I'm getting sucked.
You and your gay spine. Should I do a joke now?
I just missed June.
Oh, all right. You did. Wait, what?
Is it your joke or is it my joke?
Whose joke is it, anyways?
Now would be your time, Kyle.
Help us, Kyle.
Which joke?
Where the
whose
fuck
joke
are you?
is it?
I'll suck my dick, dude. How do you think I was confused? Give it up for him. That was a hell of a battle.
I think we only did 4.
I thought it was 5th. You rambled. I don't know what's going on.
I'm still pretty sure we only did 4.
That's fine. Do you guys want to see one more joke?
Yeah, I think we need one more fucking joke, yeah.
All right.
One more joke.
Sudden
One
death.
more, yeah.
Sudden death. Sudden death.
Sudden death.
Sudden death.
Do you want to come get me?
I did. Okay, yeah, I did second, so I guess it's my joke. Chris buys all of his clothing from a Tractor Supply store, and I think that's pretty progressive because Southerners usually kill the retarded. At least Tractor Supply is willing to clothe them now.
He called me retarded, but he read that like that. That's my joke.
Word.
All right. Give it up for him. Marv, who do you think won?
That was a sudden death?
I mean, you could go one more. You could ask for one more.
We're not really sure
I still
what
got
happened
a
here.
draw.
You still got to draw?
We can do another joke.
Pratik?
I think we gotta do one more joke.
One more joke. One more joke. Sudden death. Sudden death. Sudden death. I don't care who goes first.
Okay.
I think you got to go first this time. I went first last time.
I'll go first this time, just for you, Mr. Petrie.
I appreciate it. I'm so horny right now.
I'm so horny too. I'm not even gay like you.
This isn't even a battle. We're going to fuck after this.
I think our improv scene's bombing right now. All right. Yes, and let's get this over with. I have to diabetic piss. All right. Brandon's sister's only 20 and has 2 old kids. That's a lot of words for saying she's into black guys. But Brandon played a lot of basketball in high school. That's a lot of words to saying he's into black guys. Because he's gay like his back. And I'm racist for that after I said it out loud. I need an editor, guys. Help me.
My sister has 2 children. One is 2, the other is 6 months old. Chris calls them old because to him that's old enough.
So that was the number 7 battle this week between Brandon Petrie. I'm just going to alternate the way I pronounce it. I'll get it right half the time. And Chris Scriva from Cleveland. Here's what I want to say about Cleveland. We can't talk about the battle. It went to double overtime. Very entertaining, ups and downs, but the ups were, I thought, really good. I like this one a lot. It found its way onto almost every ballot this week, usually in that 6 or 7 range, so everybody kind of agreed. Here's what I like about Cleveland. You guys only see the end results here, right? You see the battles that go up. You see people miss the countdown. You see the point totals. I see all the intangibles. I see the communication from the people running the scene. I see the enthusiasm from the people running the scene. I see how frequently they submit battles. I see how frequently they cancel shows or something went wrong or blah, 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 blah. those things lead me to believe that Cleveland is in this thing to stay. They remind me a lot of Denver last year, where they're not putting a lot of points on the board, but all the pieces are in place for them to maybe make a jump next year the way Denver has this year.
Interesting. And also Cleveland kind of has like they have a ringer feel to them because they've been doing it for so long, right? Like I remember when we were first talking about putting a league together, we had this blog called The Roast Report.
Yeah.
And you guys started doing standings and rankings, right? And it was between New York and LA mainly because that's where the communication was. But then we started seeing that there was Chicago and Cleveland with the Ad Hominem show, and that's kind of where they start mostly. And you know, it's they've been doing this for 8 years, so I think they kind of like that. Not only is it serious to them, like they have some stake in the game, you know.
Big time. They're very excited to be part of the league. I think they're going through a little bit of a rebuilding process because you know how we've seen this for 11 years here. There's peaks and valleys where people are really into it, and then people kind of get out of it and they think, oh well, there's nothing to gain here. And then you get Cleveland, who's trying to get these people back, and they're being like, hey, we're part of the league now. Tabitha Jones just went to the mothership. I think things like that will bring the people back. I'm not super worried about the quality of the jokes or the joke writing. For them, it's a bunch of technical stuff. It's the video. It's miking the crowd properly. And because I told him, I was like, I can't tell if you have a really hot 8 people in the crowd or you're not miking 50 people correctly. And they're like, it's the latter.
Right.
And then what happens is you get these awkward pauses because they're waiting for the laughter to die down, but you can't even hear on the thing that there is still laughter. So it's like 3-second pauses between jokes with silence. And you're like, are these guys unsure of their jokes? What's going on? You know, stuff like that people don't think of.
It's like, that's like presentation when you're talking about like presenting a dish.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, the flavor's here.
Absolutely.
Oh, my God. Oh, you got all the ingredients on there, but this looks like shit.
Right. Now, the good thing is I would rather have a chef who the presentation needs work. Because you could teach the presentation. You can work on the presentation. If the ingredients are fucked up, it doesn't matter what it looks like. You're never going to get there. So that's why I feel confident about Cleveland. I think that's the perfect comparison. They have all the ingredients. They just got to work on the presentation a little bit.
Right. Well, all right. So are you doing this thing where it's almost like fantasy football where the lowest person gets cut and they bring a new person in?
Are you talking about relegation in the league?
Yeah.
I don't want to commit to anything.
Okay.
I'll say this. There are cities that should be concerned.
Whoa, let's go.
There are cities that should be, nobody should take for granted that they're going to be a part of this league in 2025. I'll say that.
I mean, there are 11 minor league cities, right? I mean, you've got, I just saw Rose Battle Berlin's out there, right? They're calling themselves RBL Berlin for the most part. You've got San Diego, you've got Milwaukee, you've got San Antonio coming up with Joey Smith. You've got the Dallas-Fort Worth guys with Mike Eaton and I think Jay Mike.
Vancouver's very exciting.
They're cool. I like the way they do their thing.
I like Vancouver. I know Philly is trying to get back in it. You know, after talking to them last year, there are options. I'll say that. For 2025, I think it is a goal to have an official sort of minor league system because we just use the term loosely now.
Right.
Try to figure out what that looks like, but definitely there are options out there. So if you're one of these cities who is thinking that, I'll just go a month without sending in a battle or results or anything or, you know, whatever, like it's just not, you're replaceable. Sorry.
Wow. I'm just thinking about the RBL as the Bachelor.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, I have options.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, Australia, Cleveland, Atlanta, Montreal.
You know how bad Berlin would like to give us a rose?
Oh my God, Berlin.
You know?
If we let Germany in, they're going to shit on the whole competition.
I can't wait, dude. Let's fucking go.
Scheiser films.
Yeah, but that's all I'm saying. And what I'm saying about Cleveland is I don't get any of those vibes. There's room for improvement for sure. But I like what they've done. They have some people that I think are really funny. Obviously, Tabitha, the 2 guys in this, I've seen a bunch on battles that have been submitted, and I think they're both really funny joke writers. They just got to clean up some of the technical stuff, and then I think we'll see them make the same kind of leap that Denver did. And originally, that was my hope for the expansion cities. Put yourself in a Denver type position where year 2 you're ready to make the jump. It just so happens Manchester came out of the gate so fucking hot. You're like, oh my God, maybe that the expectations could be set higher. But otherwise, Cleveland is doing exactly what I was hoping they would do when we put them in And I think they're gonna put up some more points in the second half.
Well, like if it's at least 2 cities per year, expansion wise, like you've got Manchester, and then you're saying Cleveland has all the ingredients to stick around, and everybody else can fuck off. I mean, that's a pretty good average.
Yes, everybody else can fuck off. That's the important takeaway from this conversation. We might tell you to fuck off, so step up your game. Let's keep it going right now with the number 6 city, and I alluded to some title matches this week. A couple weeks ago, 2 title matches, number 1 and number 2, Nate Welch versus Julian Fernandez, John Ajota versus Malia Simon. Both champs retain their titles. This week, we have an unprecedented 3 championship matches on the countdown, and we start with a title change from overseas. It is Barcelona. This took place about a week or so ago. Mila Kopaeva, who we saw on the podcast earlier this season, winning the Barcelona championship from Darren Cullen. It's a fun battle. As always, Mila is a very polarizing figure, even amongst the ranking committee. Some people loved it. Some people were like, I can't do her thing. Someone referred to her as a female Gilbert Gottfried, and I can't unhear it now. But she writes some really fucking good jokes, and that's why she's the new champ. It's number 6 this week, Mila Kopaeva versus Darren Cullen. Here it is.
Guys, Darren looks like he promised to marry his mom when he grows up. Darren came to Barcelona while touring with a theater company, and he stayed here because he got replaced with a mop. Your turn, baby.
When you call me baby, I threw up a little bit in my mouth. Okay.
Swallow it, you know how to do it.
Эта громкая сука из России. У нее нарте парла. У нее блестяшное сисько.
Is that Russian?
You smell.
All right, back to you, Mila.
Basically, he tried to say that I'm flat. How dare you calling me flat when your body looks like you've been squashed in between 2 doors?
Holy shit.
Darren, you look like a Trothlin son with a wig on. Darren, you look like a palm tree with a human AIDS. Darren, you look like a giant tampon that peeps out of a hairy vagina.
All right, whatever you say, Pikachu cheeks. This radioactive chipmunk is called Mila. Mila is from Russia, but her voice is from my nightmares. Mila does not go home and speak to her family. She just shouts from her bedroom window. Mama! It is said that Mila's voice alone is what killed off Rasputin.
Nobody noticed what kind of voice you have because nobody pays attention what you say. Anyway, what else can I say about Darren that is not written in his mom diary? Darren can't do anything by himself. Darren does all his comedy shows with the help of his best mate, Ewan. Ewan brings the humor and the charm, and Darren brings his camera. Darren dates a girlfriend who is very open-minded and sex positive. To the bedroom, she brings kinky ideas, and Darren brings his mate, Ewan.
My girlfriend wants a threesome. What a terrible life I have. What a terrible, terrible life I have. I think this is slightly unfair because I think all of Mila's jokes tonight have been written by Chat KBG. So I know that since the war started in Ukraine, there's been a bit of an energy crisis in Europe. But guys, if you're looking to see where the Russian oil went, it's sitting in Mila's skin. Yeah. The only boys that Mila can attract are Pokemon nerds that just want a shiny. They just want a shiny.
Thank you. That sounds nice, actually. Okay.
A boyfriend? What?
I would love to have one. Thank you, Sir Camelot, whose girlfriend doesn't come a lot. The only time Darren was called a sir is when he surprised his girlfriend because he was dating another woman at the same time.
Whoa. Yep.
I will never trust ChatGPT again.
All right. Mila, I want to say in this dress tonight you look very cute. You look very angelic, like a little angel that's on testosterone. Talking of Mila not having a boyfriend, Mila likes to date bisexual men. I think she misses the feminine energy that she once had. Hey, come on, guys. Trans women are women too. Don't listen to them, Mila. Don't listen to them. Oh.
Last joke.
Darren, you look like you call your mother when you come just to describe how your jizz looks today. Darren has a sister. His sister works at Women Refuge helping domestic violence victims, and Darren never goes to that place because he doesn't want to bump into his ex-girlfriends.
They're not there. They're dead. Wow. Give it up for slightly autistic Barbie, everybody. All right. Mila does comedy in 2 languages. In the English comedy, she is known as the loud one. And in the Russian comedy, she is known as the loud one! I don't think Donald Trump put that bandage on his ear because he was shot. I think he was just standing too close to Mila.
I will try again.
You should, honestly, you should.
So that was the number 6 battle. Darren Cullen, Mila Kopayeva. We didn't even watch it, but you're shaking your head. What are you thinking?
Well, I remember Darren hit me up after this happened and was like, I lost. And I was like, what happened? And he told me to who. I was like, oh, that would happen to her.
Sure.
She's a tough opponent. I feel like she's won before, right? She's had the belt before.
I don't know about the belt. I think it's her first time as champ, but she's definitely won battles.
Yeah, against like James too, right? James Regal.
Yeah, she battled. I don't remember all the, but she's good.
She's formidable. That's
Very
what I know
much so,
about
yes.
her. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that makes sense. But he was there talking about from Rosa Parks to sleeping on a park bench, man. I'm like, such a fall from grace.
You know, it's it happens to the best of us, man. Like, you know, you win that title. I wouldn't know. I never won any championships, but you win that title, and then all of a sudden you can't get complacent even for a second because somebody will come and they will take that belt away from you. They're young, they're hungry. You reach the mountaintop. What was the saying that? What are you saying? Die Hard. He was like, when Caesar conquered Rome, he wept for there were no more worlds to conquer.
Oh.
Alexander the Great, it might have been. I'm paraphrasing.
I think it was Yippee-Ki-Yay, motherfucker.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You know that.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Congratulations, La Femme Nikita, Mila Kopayeva. She sounds like a John Wick character.
Yeah, she's I have a crush on her.
Oh no!
My wife doesn't watch this podcast. It's fine. I'm just gonna say it now. As the commissioner, again, very inappropriate to say that. I like Darren too. I have a crush on both of them. But
nice save. That was a great save.
You know,
wow. This is a great podcast.
Mila's
already.
fun. I love Mila. Don't tell my wife. All right, let's keep it moving right now and go to the number 5 battle this week. And this comes to us from Chicago. Now, this is, you know, most cities would love to be in the number 5 spot. For Chicago, you're fighting for dear life, trying to. New York is just this season has been an onslaught, dude.
It's a juggernaut.
They are throwing haymakers, and Chicago is trying their damnedest to keep up with them to the point where you get a number 5, you got to be like, fuck.
Yeah, New York is like the Robert Downey Jr. of the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
Like they can get killed and they still get cast.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're gonna talk more about New York, I'm sure, in the coming weeks. But Chicago pulls up the number 5 spot this week. Now, on the one hand, you have to be like, fuck, number 5. But on the other hand, when you look at the 2 people you have in this battle, Chicago has to be really thrilled with the overall battle. These are 2 people who have never done roast battle.
Oh, wow.
These are 2, I don't even think they're stand-ups. These are improv theater kids.
Whoa.
And they came to Roast Battle Chicago and they said, hey, we're friends from theater and we want to battle. And I'm assuming they were like, ugh, fine. Put the theater kids on. Put them on first. Get them out of the way. The shit's going to suck. It doesn't. It's fun. I will say this. This is one of the more lopsided battles we've ever had on the podcast. This is an absolute decimation by one person. I won't spoil it. But one person goes into this, I think, wanting to have fun with their theater buddy, and the other person goes in wanting to destroy their opponent. And it shows.
It's more Drake and Kendrick. That is kind of the theme this year.
Yeah, it is. It is. I promised myself I wouldn't make any more Drake and Kendrick comps, but I can silently nod and agree.
It's hard not to. I mean, like, what's a more distinct comparison than like, we're having fun than like, I fucking hate your guts and I want you to die than Drake and Kendrick.
Yeah. Anyway, it's the number 5 battle this week between Kendrick, Rebecca Jaffe, and Drake Quinn James. Here it is.
Quinn looks like a child's first drawing of a person.
Let's hear it for Gollum Barbie. No, Rebecca, you sound like you would have a peanut allergy. Sorry, I mean penis allergy. Lesbian.
Yeah, Quinn is the actual proud member of the LGBT community. Round of applause for that. But honestly, that's not fair. That community has been through enough hardship. Now they have to put up with discount Cat in the Hat.
Okay, that's fair. Speaking of trans things, Rebecca, you look like Miss Frizzle transitioned to Dobby the Elf and then joined Hogwarts improv team. Instead of saying yes and, the audience are saying, please, no.
And you look like Willy Wonka transitioned into bankruptcy.
Rebecca, you look like the forgotten Keebler elf, because no one wants to eat your cookies.
Wow. I think this is a good time to raise awareness that trans people are at higher risk of suicide. Because most of them have had to date Quinn. It's important. It's important.
Rebecca, I love you. You look like if Anne Frank was a theater kid. And then instead of hiding in the attic, she hid in the closet.
Oh, we want to talk about Anne Frank? We want to talk about Anne Frank when we got Anne Stank right here? Anne Stank, also Anne Skank. Yeah.
A healthy sex life is nothing to be ashamed of.
So many people died in the Holocaust, and this is the Jew that we kept? This smelly slut who couldn't get through theater school.
Wow. Last joke. Fine. Look, I know you're all looking at us thinking, God, these 2 autistic kids bullying each other. It's awful. It's despicable. The only difference is, I actually am autistic. Rebecca just chooses to dress, sound, and look like that.
Okay, you two, give it up for them.
So that was the number 5 battle this week. Rebecca Jaffe and Quinn James in a bloodbath. I'd like to pay my respect to Quinn James, and we will have a moment of silence. Damn, you got fucking crushed. Anyway, fun battle. Rebecca coming out as an absolute killer. I assume one of those people we will never see again. One of two things will happen. Either she'll get the roast battle bug now and be like, that's the most fun I've ever had. Bring them on. I'll do 1,000,000 of them. Or she's like, okay, I stepped out of my theater troupe for a second. It was fun. It's like skydiving. You do it once and you're like, I'm good.
Keep yes-anding, Rebecca.
Yeah.
Keep it going. You know, improv this whole thing. Just keep it going. Keep finding partners to do this with. This is kind of why you do it, you know, because the roast battle does meld all that together. It's sketch, it's improv, it's stand-up, it's prop comedy, it's their sound effects. There's everything in this thing. You know, this is the comedy obstacle course. Like everything is in this setup punch.
True. The American Ninja Warrior of comedy. That's a good obstacle course. I don't know. I was trying to think of one. By the way, shout out to the Olympians, dude. We were beating the shit out of people.
Yeah, we are.
The Olympics started today. Big win for U.S. over Serbia. There was one American who fucking fell off the pommel horse. I was like, what a loser. It's so funny how like I didn't know this guy existed 2 minutes ago, and now I'm like, I hate you. Like you're ruining the pommel horse.
Did you see the opening ceremony?
I saw Snoop Crip walking with the thing.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That was very cool. And then people were like okay with that, and then they were like mad at the drag queens last summer or supper.
What is that?
They were like they recreated Jesus in the Last Supper.
Sure.
And so they did the same thing.
But with drag queens?
Yeah.
At the opening ceremonies? What does that have to do with the Olympics?
It's just art. It's just they're being French.
Oh.
Yeah. Saw a guy's nuts.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, because
one of the drag queens.
Yeah. He forgot to tuck, I think.
Oh,
or she. Sorry, I mean, I actually don't even could be non-binary.
No,
so.
I think it's. No, I'm not. You know, I'm not.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's get out of here. Let's watch some battles here in the studio. The top 4 battles, as always, we watch these here in the studio, and we're gonna start with the number 4 battle in Austin, Texas, this week. It's been a really nice season for Austin. They continually, put up points. They just happen to be in the toughest division in the league, and this time it is 2 newer faces that I don't know that we've seen on the podcast ever before. This is Owen Gallivan versus Monford Davis. Here it is.
Owen was actually one of the best Dance Revolution players in all of North America. Hey, Owen. Skip rocks, bitch. I don't even get that. I don't get that at all. What is it?
You got Denver in my Austin battle.
Mufford looks like he prays 5 times a day, facing a Bass Pro Shop. Yeah, Owen likes to eat yogurt.
Applause break.
Pretend that he's pregnant. Oh, and no one's gonna fuck you. You're not gonna be a good mom. I would have just left it at the yogurt thing. That Mumford told me that he really likes to date black women. Come on, dude. Haven't black women been through enough in this country? Owen's mustache has contracted more viruses, so I just call it the loading screen. Mumford looks like he says, "All right, no more Mr. Nice Guy" when he gets mad.
He does look like
that. Owen likes to drink beer and stare at the wall. And if we were in Oregon, we could do it humanely.
What?
Mumford is a diagnosed schizophrenic. It's not the joke. That's true. Mumford is a diagnosed schizophrenic, which explains why he's always eating for 2. Owen's gay, retarded, and Irish. So just Irish. Whoa. Irish people aren't gay. Because they're retarded. Okay. Guys, if Mumford looks like he has a favorite McDonald's.
Get enough of these guys. They took us like 5 hours.
All right, first question. Do we not all have a favorite McDonald's? Is that?
That's crazy. That was a great battle.
Yeah, it was. Dude, Austin benefits so much. That Creek crowd is so fun.
They go nuts.
They really do.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you're doing.
They really, really do, man. We see some shit there, like get laughs where I'm like, really? What am I?
They love a character.
They do. They do. There's like, you know, I think it's fitting that Austin and Denver have been trading 3 and 4 in the West all season because like they're just like I don't want to say mirror images of each other, but they have a lot of the same like characteristics in terms of like just how fun it is and how rowdy like their crowds can be. Because saying your opponent eats yogurt and getting an applause break is insane.
But that's Austin. Austin is comedy Disneyland. So like their crowds are just like happy that it's happening. And they also love that absurd shit, that keep Austin weird thing. Like Mumford answers the question, what if Shane Gillis' favorite comic was Harlan Williams? And he's got that whole vibe to him. And then I guess that guy Egon, or what is his name? What is his name?
Owen.
Owen, yeah.
It's just spelled like Egon.
Yeah, he looks like like you ever watch Game of Thrones?
No.
Okay, well if you ever watch Game of Thrones, like he looks like a king in Game of Thrones, but who's constantly getting cheated on and like his wife is like just like fucking her brother.
Got it.
That's what he looks like.
Yeah.
He's like just constantly getting cheated on.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, without even seeing the show, I'm like, I could see that scenario happening to
Correct.
him for sure.
And then they're just battling each other.
Yeah.
Those two. And they're very silly.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't know what Mumford was going to say. At one point, I was like, okay, he could go buzzword heavy, but he kept it very silly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, very left, leaned into his character and his charisma a lot. Didn't really have any big jokes.
No.
And I thought Owen kind of kept it I'm just going to keep punching him with jokes.
Yeah, fun battle. Maybe not the most technically proficient. Came together on short notice, you know. And listen, I would much rather, if you're going to get short notice, get two like fun people up there who, you know, their personalities can carry them through some dry spells with the jokes. I thought Owen had some really good like written stuff. Praying 5 times a day to a Bass Pro Shop is very funny to me. And there were a couple others. But again, you sort of that friendship vibe. You're finding out things about the people. This was one of your criticisms of one of the battles on Thursday at Jam in the Van, which you really dressed down one of the battlers on stage. You're like, I learned nothing about your opponent. you taught me nothing new about him. How dare you?
It was just very Omid Singh. I mean, like, you know, when at this point we have to learn something about you, right? Like all these crowds seem to love that that last comic standing, that America's Got Talent, that American Idol vibe of Kill Tony. They want to get to know somebody, and if we don't know anything about you, just going surface level, it's not that fun, you know. So I think Omid, when he does that, it's contagious. So then when I was dressing down Russell Ells, it's this guy has so much you could say about him, you know. Even Owen, just like saying that about Mumford, it was like that's the essence of somebody, which you always preach.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can get the essence of somebody, which is like it extracts not just surface level, it goes beneath the surface, and we all learn something, and we all feel better about it.
Right. Like now I know Owen likes to eat yogurt. I mean, it's good. It's good information to have.
It's just a weak thing, and it was very funny because it's just like he's just this big ogre talking down to like, you know, it's like David and Goliath, like, you like to eat yogurt.
No, I actually am not being sarcastic.
Yeah.
I actually, if he truly eats yogurt, that I like that as a setup for a joke. I don't know, because you're getting into the nitty gritty. And if he doesn't eat yogurt, it's even funnier that you're just like, I'm gonna make up some shit about him. What's the most damning thing I could say? I know that he eats yogurt. Like you could have said anything.
I like Owen. He had a joke about, he said Mumford likes to date black women. Come on, Mumford, haven't black women been through enough?
Yeah.
You know, that's like, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Now I know something about him, like, but dates black chicks.
Yep.
I know he's an ally, you know.
You don't know that. You don't know his motivation.
Could be a serial killer.
Yeah. We gotta pump the brakes a little bit. We can't just be calling anybody an ally. for any reason. But fun battle lands in the number 4 spot this week, and now we move across the pond for another championship match.
Nice.
And another title change. This is the reigning defending champion from Manchester, James Allen, defending his belt against someone who I think is going to get some serious consideration for Rookie of the Year, Meccan Roth. It was a crazy couple of days for Meccan. First, she battled in London against Ryan Cullen from Scotland. It was Manchester versus Scotland in London. And then I believe a day or two later, she went for the championship against James Allen. Those are 2 big heavyweight battles back to back. And she came through and took home the title. Wow. It's a great battle. It's number 3 this week. Here it is.
James is so unfuckable, he gets friend-zoned by sex workers. He seems like the kind of guy who tells everyone he's in an open relationship because his girlfriend won't stop cheating on him. And he doesn't want to learn how to do his own laundry.
Oh, it's going to be a long roast. Meccan Roth, everybody. Meccan Roth? More like making me sick.
We got Austin in our Manchester.
She really likes yogurt.
Yogurt tag would crush right now.
They really would.
Applause break. These crowds are insane.
He brought half.
In all honesty, though, you do look like a fighting animal testing bag that's come to life. Lush, you ain't. Over to you.
Fun fact, James has been circumcised twice already. Probably won't happen again. His mom's promised from now on she'll use way less teeth.
Yep.
Meccan once got high at a dance funeral. Not via drugs, she just got high up on the balcony as it was his last wish to get as far away from her as possible. Meccan left Chihuahua with her ex-boyfriend after an eat, pray, love moment. I don't see a lot of praying or loving.
I like that.
Over to you.
Where are your shoulders, man?
That one's devastating. As a guy with weak shoulders, that one hurts.
You're shaped like baby's first butt plug. Just gently sloped for easy insertion.
Oh, baby's first butt plug. Jesus.
Whilst after an orgy, Meccan had to notify the group she had an orgy with that she had chlamydia, and instead of telling them in person, she let them know via a group chat. She let them know via WhatsApp.
Stupid.
Do check yourself. Over to you.
Don't worry, James isn't autistic. He just has a bad personality.
Thank you. There's a lot of those out there.
You look like a Reddit moderator for r/14 is old enough.
Oh, that's such a good joke.
Oh God. I feel like I like the Keir Starmer of roads here, where I'm getting the point across, but none of you have enough belief in me.
His internal monologue is crazy.
Meccan plays a lot of Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, and it was actually her parents that got her into Dungeons and Dragons because she was used to getting a lot of critical hits from them.
Is that over to me?
Yeah.
Just double checking. James told me his fetish is politeness. It really turns him on when his sexual partners say, please, 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 you don't have to do this. It's a joke. It's a joke. I'm never saying that James chases down and forcibly rapes women. Of course not. That'd be way too much cardio.
Is she projecting?
Spicy. Before I turn into a pile of ash, I'll leave you with this. Mekken was born in Iceland, and in Iceland it's common for the surnames of people to have son at the end, like Gunnarsson or Aronson, and that tradition's been kept through Mekken's family because whenever her mum introduces her, she says, "This is Mekken, wish I had a son."
There's a lot to unpack here. First of all, congratulations to Mekken Roth, a deserving new champion in Manchester. Goes to 4-1 on the season. It's her third or fourth appearance on the podcast. She's had a very, very nice rookie year over there in Manchester, and representing Iceland well too. I think our only Icelandic battler. So.
Yeah, she's the Viking, right?
Yeah. Very impressive. I love what they were both doing. I thought that was a really fun, entertaining battle. I'm puzzled as to how, because James's style makes for a really entertaining kind of thing there. I'm puzzled as to how he ever won the championship with that approach. It doesn't seem like a style that would be effective for winning battles, going in and just kind of like meekly being like, oh no, I'm getting killed. I assume his previous title match went a little bit differently for him to win. It was very, very entertaining, but no doubt about it, dude. Mekken, wiped the floor with him, I thought.
Yeah. I just want to start by saying that I thought Mekken had a fanny pack on the whole time. And then I just saw that was a zipper. Anyway, he does this thing that Nate Welch does. He does if Nate's big pun, that's definitely meek pun or like meek, just small pun. I just don't even, he was all puns and wordplay.
Mm-hmm.
And he was doing the classic Roast Battle LA thing, I thought. But you're right. I think because we're so used to guys doing it so big, right? Your Julian Fernandez's, your Nate Welch's, not guys, I'm just like the general use of guys.
Yep, of course.
But it's a heavy thing that they do out in LA. That is the style. So when I see it in Manchester, and he's doing it very British, because he's not nailing it. He's kind of like not really leaning into it.
It's charming.
It is charming.
There's a lot of charm there.
Yeah,
when he opened with more like Mecking me sick, that's a charming joke. You got to follow it up with something a little bit more biting. You kind of created this thing with that opening joke where I was like, oh, I'm all the way in on this guy, and then he was just kind of like, nope, it's just more of that. I don't really have anything different. But I don't think he should have been so hard on him. So, like, some of his jokes were funny, like the Icelandic I thought was a nice kind of like twist. But yeah, I mean, what's clap? You lost me at what's clap. That's where I was like, I can't.
That can't be the punchline.
She gave you, imagine battling somebody and you're like, so tell me about yourself. And she's like, well, I once after an orgy had to notify everybody via group chat that I might have given them chlamydia. Like, if I was battling somebody and they gave me that piece of info, I would spend 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to write the best joke about that thing that's ever been done. And this guy was like, a group chat, you say? What's clap? Done. It's like, come on, bud. Come on, man. Put in a little bit more effort on that one. I need a better joke about the chlamydia in the orgy than what's clap. But overall, I really liked what you did. I thought it was fun. First time seeing James Allen on the podcast. Hopefully not the last. I was very entertained. But Mekken Roth is a force to be reckoned with. She is going to make a run at Rookie of the Year for sure.
Is she a force to be mecking with, you say? That's my James Allen.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah, you nailed it. You nailed his style. And that's the number 3 battle this week. Manchester, crazy start to the season. They've that entire International East Division has been stagnant for a little while. Manchester coming back out strong. Number 3 battle, picking up 5 more points, extending their lead on Tokyo and London. Unless, of course, one of those 2 cities happens to be in the top 2 battles of the week this week. Let's find out. Let's jump to the number 2 battle. And this is our 3rd title match of the show.
Wow.
This comes to us from Denver. The defending champion, Evan Joe, defending his title against Jeff Stonick, who won their tournament. What happened with this was Jeff Stonick won their tournament. They scheduled him for a title match. I hit up Denver. I said, hey, when is that title match? They said July 19th. I said, listen, I got Jeff Stonick representing at the All-Star game on July 21st. Is there any way we could maybe change that? They said, absolutely. And then they messaged me back like 3 hours later and we're like, nope, turns out we can't. It has to be that night. So I'm like, okay. So Jeff Stonick, here's what he did. He battled Evan Joe on July 19th for the championship, was writing for that battle and everything. July 20th, he had a show in Denver. The show ended at 11 o'clock at night. He got in his car. He drove from Denver to Austin without stopping. He came in. He won at the All-Star game. He had a great performance. Took a bunch of great photos. Also a hell of a photographer. Hopped back in his car, drove off just into the night, never to be seen again. He might be the front runner for Rookie of the Year. We're going to have a hell of a race. And Meccan's in it. Obviously Stonick is in it. And, he also, in his rookie season, got a shot at the Denver title. How'd it go? Let's find out. It's the number 2 battle this week. Evan Joe, Jeff Stonick. Here it is.
Women be having eating disorders. Honestly, what can I say about Evan Joe that hasn't been whispered between women as a warning? He does finally answer the age-old question of what if we cream pied in a jellyfish? This man would grow. There's a lot of piss involved. Anyway, go on.
Jeff, you pediatric gynecologist. Jeff is as pretentious as it gets. He is a polyamorous poet-photographer. Okay, the only thing easier than poetry is photography. And the only thing easier than photography is Jeff's wife.
Beautifully set up.
I am pretentious. Pretentious is French for my dad's not in prison. You're a good-looking guy. He's a good-looking guy. It's like Aquaman with the shallow end, you know? He's a future incel, though. Incel block 1 for fucking that 15-year-old.
Wow.
Damn. Yeah, go for the prop. There you go.
Jeff, you flea market rapist. Jeff is bisexual. He says it's because his grandpa molested him, but we know it's because his jokes are the last thing to get him booked. Seriously, how can you be bisexual? The only gay guy you're actually attracted to is yourself.
Don't you have used jewel pots to be selling on If I lose tonight, I will have lost to a camera.
Jeff loses to a camera every time he shows up in an open mic.
You look like a baked cloud grew bones.
And you look like a dirty sack of fentanyl. Oh my God. Hey, you want to do photography so bad? How about you take a picture of this? Yeah, Jeff's photography company is called Jeff Stonick Shot It. Jeff Stonick Shot It is also what his grandpa told the police when they asked why his face was covered in semen.
kind of look like a chemo patient's trying out a new wig. He'll be starring in a movie adaptation of The Giving Tree, and this time it's about a weeping willow that gives STDs.
I have given STDs. Jeff recently quit doing regular stand-up, so on behalf of all of us, thank you. What was the rest of that joke?
Come on, Evan, you're the classic Mr. Memorize.
Well,
don't let it.
I've been doing this Men in Black shit all night. I forgot what I was going to say. Jeff recently quit doing stand-up. I'm proud of him for quitting comedy to take pictures of more talented people. It's a very hard thing to do, but much like his grandpa's fingers, I knew he had it in him. That's four. That's four. Get the fuck out of here.
That was cooked.
It's cooking.
Speaking of cook, doesn't he kind of looks like he reminds me of like the food critic of Ratatouille, if you only reviewed the 7-Eleven slushies.
They're called Slurpees.
Yeah. But in closing, this is my last joke. This is his last joke. It's not even a joke. I just wanted to say I'm sorry about your relationship with him.
That's okay.
Yeah, you guys broke up, right?
No.
Oh, never mind. No, nothing. She's never just like had one-on-one in the parking lot with tears in her eyes, talking about like how you acted on your birthday. She's never done that. I don't know.
That did happen.
And it happened.
You said there'd be a joke? It's all right. My girl went to Stanford. His girl went into the arms of another man. Jeff puts the human in human papillomavirus. Yeah, Jeff fucks more comics in Denver than Wendy Curtis signing a door deal.
Let's
go. Little inside baseball on the last one. Wow, the number 2 battle this week, title match, Evan Joe, Jeff Stonick. Before we get into what made the battle so great, because it's a title match, we don't usually talk results. Evan Joe won, I think rightfully so. But about 3/4 of the way through, I thought Jeff had it. It was really the combination of Evan's last 2 and Jeff's misfire of an attempt on the closer and the way Evan flipped it on him that, to me, turned it in Evan's direction. But if Jeff had nailed his closer, we could be living in a world where he's 7-1, the Denver champ, won at the All-Star game, all of that shit. He has been absolutely incredible. He had a great battle here, but Evan Joe, I think, he was so consistent and really threw some haymakers at the end.
I think consistency is the key there. I think he was just so consistent throughout. They were both throwing haymakers. Jeff was he was just nailing threes. I mean, I was like, oh, dude, Stonick's got this. You're right. And then he just kind of faltered at the end there, like his own inner monologue. Yeah. I guess that's another theme of this show is like guys having inner monologues that are coming out, basically.
Yeah.
But Evan Joe, man, Stonick had a great joke there at the beginning, too, of like he looks like that he answers the question of what would it look like if somebody cream pied a jellyfish. I mean, that's just that's exactly what he looks like. He had so many good jokes like that of just the essence of Evan Joe, but then Evan was just coming with just combos, and obviously the prop was helping him to like lean into some of the stuff, but that was a fun classic Denver battle. And Stonick, man, Rookie of the Year. I mean, we just saw Megan Roth, but it might be a 2-horse race between those two.
Oh, we might have to continue this conversation with our next battle.
What?
We'll talk about that in a moment. But here's what I'll say. First of all, Tom Goss, our friend, battler, #1 on the podcast last week. He stepped away from Roast Battle for a long time, but he's been a big fan and student of the game. He put together a list, because this is something we've been talking about a lot, and he was like, I would like to spearhead this project of writing the things that have been done to death. Remember, we're like, you're not allowed to say American history XXL anymore, or carrot bottom or whatever. And one of the things that he wrote, he sent me the first draft of this thing. And it was, you look like so-and-so became a real person or wished to become a real boy or something like that. The way, and just the way Jeff took that minor tweak and he's like, you look like a vape cloud grew bones. He put a whole other spin on it that I had never heard before, and it was fucking incredible. It was so good. And Jeff had a bunch of those jokes. Evan, the way he set up his opener about the polyamorous, pretentious photographer and poet, and photography is easier than poetry, and the only thing easier than photography is Jeff's wife. The way he set all that up was absolutely unbelievable. It was so good. I forget what his fourth joke was, but I was losing my mind. It was the one that to me sealed the deal on the battle. And then just flipping at the end, my girlfriend went into the arms of another man. Or mine went to Stanford. Yours went in the arms of another man. It was great.
Yeah, I've never seen when Jeff said you look like what was it with STDs? It's just and then Evan Joe with the flex. It's I have given STDs.
Oh,
and you're
yeah.
oh yeah, you're still a nerd. It's still got the people you're fucking out there. The guy fuck yeah, it's just whoa, but you're damaged goods now.
Chemo patient trying on a wig was outstanding too. That was so good. It was just it was such a great match. The only thing strategically I think Jeff could have done differently, if you have an opponent who loves to do those little asides and loves to be very active in talking even when it's not their turn, it's really risky to do a setup to your last joke where it's I'm sorry about you and your girlfriend, you guys broke up, right? Don't leave that door open for him to be no, that's not what happened. And then Jeff was kind of oh, well, and I'm not sure if that was related, but to me, if you have an opponent who loves to talk, don't ask him any open-ended questions. Don't do that.
You gotta be a salesman. Yeah, it's always closed. Always closed. You gotta close with those. Yeah, it's an economy of words show. Gotta be closed.
Yeah. Exactly. So congratulations to Evan Joe, who is really one of the unsung heroes of Roast Battle. He's been the champ out in Denver for a while. I think last season everybody was talking about Adam Gilliland and Jake DePizza, and then this season everybody's kind of talking about Stonick and Phil Corridor. And beneath it all, Evan Joe just kind of hangs out, wins, defends his title, has great battles, and I feel like he doesn't get mentioned as often as those other four guys. So let's give him some flowers real quick. Evan Joe is really fucking good at this.
He's really good at this. Those are two guys at the top of their game, especially with Stonick kind of ascending right now, but Evan Joe just showing him hey man, I started this Denver shit.
Yeah.
So this is the motherfucking thanks I get.
Exactly. Well, we're giving you your thanks now. Thank you for being the backbone of a scene that, again, last year started Expansion City, kind of finding their footing. This year, they're having a great year, and they pick up 6 more points this week with the #2 battle, as they're trying to gun down Bay Area for that #2 spot in the West now. That race is going to heat up for sure. And let's close out the show with the #1 battle this week, and it comes to us from New York. It's been a dominant season for New York. It continues with a #1 battle this week. And when I say Rookie of the Year, remember when Ichiro won the Rookie of the Year in baseball, even though he had been playing in Japan for 8 years, not truly a rookie?
Mm-hmm.
That is very much the deal with Chris Crespo here. Chris Crespo, we saw him a few weeks ago have his first battle in many, many years. He was a legend from the Roastmasters days. He disappeared. He's coming back. This is his second battle of the season, second #1. 2 battles in your RBL career, both of them #1 on the countdown. He is going to very seriously enter into the consideration for Rookie of the Year as well, although there's going to be controversy because it's you've been doing this a decade.
Yeah, it's Sting.
But yeah. But technically a rookie, and he put up another incredible battle here. It's #1 this week from New York. It is Chris Crespo going against Yoshiko Watson. Here it is.
All right. Fun fact, Yoshiko's Japanese and a woman. So he's the only person here who's statistically worse at driving than I am.
Chris, you mangled starfish. You look like a minion went through a blender.
Damn.
You're just mad that I look like your inner beauty. Yoshiko hates it when I say the N-word. Nagasaki.
Chris looks like he still doesn't understand that meth explodes.
I'll figure it out. Yoshiko likes to hit the slopes. No, not skiing. She just likes to go out and attack any Asian that isn't Japanese.
You may have noticed Chris laughs too loud over people. I'm always like, hush, Chris, the humans are talking.
Yoshiko used to be fat, but she lost the weight by vomiting. She's not bulimic. She just throws up whenever a black man tries to hit on her.
I don't know what you mean, Chris. Chris got fired from Starbucks because it's obvious. He just couldn't stop dropping the N-bomb.
Yoshiko's pussy's like the American dream. Everyone wants a taste of it, but you only get it if you're a rich white man.
Good joke.
Very well written.
Chris's mom doesn't love him because she's not insane.
Wow. What?
Chris is a remarkably successful rapist.
Oh my God.
He's actually an amputee that glued on the dicks of this poor little boy.
Let's go, Chris.
Let's go, Chris. All right, Yoshiko used to cut herself. What a waste of wrists.
Number one battle this week, Chris Crespo, Yoshiko Watson. Yoshiko Watson is going to hell. Let's start there. That was some of the most vicious stuff I've ever heard. Also, I think her first battle. New York is just, oh yeah, we have 30 like A-level players. Let's add 2 more. Pull Chris Crespo out of retirement. Yoshiko Watson never battled before. Get up here. Yeah, you can have the number one battle. Every week they're pumping out like new people. The talent pool over there is insane.
It is insane. Funny to say that Yoshiko is going to hell, even though she's from the cradle of God's wrath, Japan. You know, I loved Chris's N-word joke, Nagasaki. So I feel like her people, those people, the Japanese, feel like they can probably say anything because they were kind of fucked back in the 40s.
Yeah. They get a pass.
Yeah, they can. I mean, like, Chris does look like how her ancestors probably look. You know what I mean?
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
I do.
But that was a lot of fun. You know, Yoshiko, Malia Simon, there's this thing that's happening out there, and I want to attribute this to Dina Hashem.
I know where you're going.
Right? They have this real deep, dark economy of words, small economy of words, just real concise jokes with that real deadpan delivery.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's it reminds me of Dina Hashem back in the day of just like she would real quick, real concise, real deadpan, real low energy, and just is killing you.
That's a great call. Yeah. You can see the Dina Hashem influence a lot out in New York. That's an excellent call. I would never even put that together, but you definitely got that out of Yoshiko. I mean, her jokes were so quick and to the point. Just even Chris's mom doesn't love him because she's not insane. What? How does that joke even enter your fucking head? That's crazy that you're just like, that is a place that your brain went. That's what I say when she's going to hell. Like, that's not a pun. That's not clever. That's just like, that's a fact. That's
successful rapist. I mean, like, that's just to put those two words together. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
That's what I say about Bill Cosby.
I mean, she the only joke that I didn't get the Starbucks thing. Other than that, I thought she was on fire the entire time. Chris was obviously great, coming out with like the Japanese woman and statistically a worse driver than me is really good. He's really good at owning, his situation and turning it on its head. But I thought she was just like, she was impervious to that. She was just, no matter what you said, it just bounced right off of her. She was on fire the whole way through.
Yeah, you can see why that was the number one battle. That was the most consistent. They both had big jokes on either side. I mean, to be number one during championship week, I mean, there's so many championship battles, so many belts changed hands. And for these guys to take the number one battle, especially what you're talking about with that talent level in New York, it just really displays how deep it is out there.
Yeah, I really thought this was a great week, especially for the top three. Like I said, the top three, everybody kind of agreed on. I thought Manchester was so much fun. Obviously, Denver was a lot of weeks that would be number one. But New York just putting up the points again, man. Chris Crespo, he's going to have to be in the Rookie of the Year conversation. I don't see any way. 14 points in 2 battles is like, and this, we get into nerdy kind of like sports minutia, right? But like, is the goal to win a bunch of battles or to get points for your city?
What about Tom Goss?
He could be in it for sure.
Is he in that? I mean, because he's kind of in that same category, right? Just
right now he's 1-1 with 7 points.
Okay.
Chris Crespo 1-1 with 14 points. Each of his battles went number one, whereas Tom had one that did not rank and another one that was number one. So yeah, if Tom has another one of those and he's got a bunch coming up, he could be in that conversation for sure too. I mean, it seems like just 2 weeks ago we were like, wow, it's Stanek and Tabitha Jones, right there, right? That's how we build it at the All-Star game. They were 1 and 2 for me. Now you got Shelley Gruenberg, the All-Star game MVP and undefeated on the season.
Yeah.
She's going to have to be part of that conversation as well. Meck and Roth. You got Audrey Hebert here in L.A.
All right.
Technically a San Diego product, but representing L.A. She has 13 points on the season. You got
who's the Bay Area champ right now?
The Bay Area Alicia Dillon.
Yeah. Is that another Rookie of the Year?
It could be.
Wow.
Definitely could be. There's a lot of time still left. 21 weeks down. I think we have 14 to go, so we're about 60% of the way through. But there's a lot of people who are really stepping it up this season, and it's great to see Crespo back.
You see Shalaka win the.
Oh yeah, let's talk about it real quick. Yeah, in championship week, now London had a very, very busy week. They had the championship tournament the other day, and then 3 days later they had another show. So I expect to see a lot of London coming up real soon. They didn't send anything in this week because they were too busy with all that. But Shalaka Kurup won the tournament again. This is exactly what she did last year. She went back to back, and you know what? I'm anticipating there's gonna be the Shalaka Kurup pushback. It's coming.
Ooh.
I can feel it. I could feel it. You know how some people will hate LeBron no matter what he does?
She's Serena Williams.
Yes.
She's the Serena Williams of our sport.
She is, in my opinion, unequivocally the best at this point across 2 seasons. And you're going to get people who are pushing back and being like, she's not even that good. She's just, you guys are biased. The judges are biased. They're going to try to turn, this is what they do with all the greats. And I can already see it coming. The fact that she won that tournament again, and last year she won the tournament and then a few weeks later won the tournament in Edinburgh. I don't think they're doing a tournament this year, but she might be over there battling again. She is about to make a really serious run at a second consecutive MVP, and there's going to be, the public is going to turn on her.
Like they do with Jokic.
Like they do with everybody.
Yeah.
They do all the greats. They turned on all of them. And they're going to do it with her, and I can't wait.
I hope that doesn't happen. I hope that we celebrate and appreciate what's happening right now because I mean we are seeing Serena Williams, a Tiger Woods, a Jordan, a LeBron. I mean a Gretzky. The list goes on. She's just a Brady, exactly. Yeah. And she's our Bollywood star.
She is, but if to get the ratings up on here, it would be great if we could do like a Skip and Shannon thing where you took one side and I took the other, and we could have impassioned debates about how she's actually either the best in the world or actually terrible.
Well, we can't though. It's hard not to agree that she's the best.
I know. Yeah. It's really, really difficult. She runs her RBL record across 2 seasons to 20-3. Think about this. In the history of LA Roast Battle, which has been going on 11 years, I think there are 9 members of the 20 Win Club across 11 years. Shalaka March to November of last month, and then March to July of this month. So not 11 years, but 11 months, maybe 13 months, something like that. She has won 20 battles with only 3 losses.
She's Mike Tyson in in the 80s.
It's absurd, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Will London make a run at Manchester? Will they win the International East? And if they do, it's looking like Shalaka's putting herself in strong position to potentially be in the World Championships again this year. But for right now, that is Manchester's spot. And for right now, I think Megan Roth is the MVP of Manchester. So we could be seeing her as well. Let's look at the standings before we get out of here, and we'll start in the American side of things. Los Angeles, Bay Area, unranked this week. Denver leapfrogs Austin. The West stays crazy. Denver is now knocking on Bay Area's door for number 2. Things are still going crazy over there. New York picks up 7 points. They take a commanding lead, not only in the East, but over LA right now, up 6 points for the number 1 overall seed in America. And Cleveland, nice to see them get into double digits there.
Wow. Okay, so everybody's in the 50-point club in the West. That's awesome.
It's crazy. It's absolutely, especially when we're about to jump over to the international side. Keep that in mind, the 50-point club. Let's jump to the international side right now, where you have nobody in the 50-point club. And I want to be really clear here, because one of the stats I keep internally is how many battles each city has had. There is nobody internationally who is running shows with the frequency of the American cities.
Right.
This is not necessarily indicative of quality, just the way the international ticket market moves. You can't run them weekly in a lot of these cities. A lot of them you can't even run bi-weekly. You know? So they're running monthly. So, it's not fair. It's not an apples-to-apples comparison, but it does speak to how good the American West has been, certainly. Because over in the international side, Barcelona picks up a couple points. They're creeping up on Toronto, and Manchester extends their lead over Tokyo in the East. Anything about the standings jump out at you?
Not really, but shout out Ryan Nesson, the world champ. I feel like he's getting his swag back. He had a battle down at the mothership on the early show. We were showcasing Roast Battle Austin, and he's battling an old Austin roast battler who's now in New York, and Britt Ledesma. I thought he really showed out in that one. So
he did great.
Shout out the world champ.
And he is somebody who, like Shalaka, could come out of nowhere in the second half of the season. He has battles coming up in New York. Another one I'm missing, and London. He's going to be going over to London to battle. He's really trying to make another run at LA MVP, which, frankly, could be open. Nate Welch, John Luna both took losses at the All-Star game. They seem like the top 2 guys. I know Paige Wesley's going to be going hard for it in the second half. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, don't sleep on Ryan Nesson. He is the world champ. I'll say that. I know I said this last year, like, who cares about Ryan Nesson? But season 2, I'm all about you, champ.
Man, when he's good, you're like, this guy sucks. And when he's bad, you're like, actually, he's underrated.
That's me. That's me and the fans.
Wild swings.
Me and the fans like Shalaka. Yeah. She's overrated right now.
Absolutely. No. Wait, what? I was just going to yes and whatever you said, and then you said something wild. All right, that's it for me. You got anything else to add this week?
Let's roast!